talk a little bit about not having Kean Elliott this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. He was out there today running around hitting people and takeaway circuit and stuff. So I would say that's to be determined right now. I don't know. He looked kind of good running around today, so we'll see.
Kenny said he was not playing.
Okay, well, he's not playing.
Okay.
What challenges does RJ Harvey present to a defense?
Man, he's outstanding. He's a Sunday guy, and anytime you play against a guy that's going to play, everybody's goal is to get to that level and to be able to play in the NFL. And when you see a guy that you just know that this dude's going to be, a day 1 or 2 draft pick, you got to prepare for those dudes. And there's some great running backs in this league, but I would say he's the most dynamic and explosive. He can turn a 3-yard run into a 50-yard gain or touchdown. So I don't think all the backs that we've seen can do that. And I think they're big, physical, productive backs. But his style of play presents a lot of different problems for us.
How encouraging is it for you to see all the good running backs that Big 12 does have, and one of the best people to stop them?
It's interesting you say that. I had no idea about that. I just know we're calling it by situation, and we're trying to get our guys to play fast and put them in position to be successful. That's really our job as coaches. So our guys executing this week is no different than any other week. Their offense gives us different challenges and presents different problems for us that we're trying to prepare for and doing our best to prepare for. But ultimately, it's going to come down to our guys being able to execute, knowing exactly what they got to do, how they're going to do it, and why they're doing it, and then be more physical than the guy they line up in front of them.
With the LT hat, does that kind of make you want to make it more of a consistent rotation over the 3 quarters?
Yeah, I mean LT. LT is a guy that he was banged up early in the season, and that's why he wasn't playing as much. He's been a part of the plan since last spring, and now getting him healthy and getting him confidence, getting him those reps that he missed, when he was out those 4 weeks, has really been really the key to his development. And then actually being able to apply it last week and being the guy that we think he can be, and he showed it on the field. I'm just really proud of him, really happy for his performance last week.
How do you feel about just that quarterback room as a whole and how it's come along from the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean they're consistently good. You know what I mean? I mean that's the thing is teams are going to complete some balls on us, but we're going to come back and make some plays. And like I said, they're indicative and they're a reflection of our whole defense. I mean, things are going to happen, and we're just going to take the next step and move forward. I mean, we get hit on the chin, and those guys just get back to doing what we do. And it's a great room, and we're really excited about their continued development and excited to see how they can finish these last 4 weeks of the regular season.
How would you describe LT's skill set as a player?
He's big, he's long, he has good range. He cares. He's very competitive, and he's a physical football player. So, he brings a different set of tools to the toolbox. All those guys complement each other. That's why you see us trying to put those guys in the positions to be successful.
What challenges are presented when you're going against a team that's on their 4th quarterback? They just changed the play caller. You don't have a lot of fresh tape on what they're currently doing. How do you prep for that?
Well, I mean, you put yourself in those coaches' shoes, and you literally say to yourself, you can't reinstall a new offense in the middle of the season. So if you have a new play caller, then maybe he's going to have different tendencies in different areas of the field. So we try to anticipate those things, and I'm going to do my best job to be in the best calls that we can be in. But at the same time, it's really about our players. And it's about their execution more than what we're seeing and what we're doing. So there's going to be some times they have some calls that aren't great to my call sheet, and it really comes down to our guys playing fast, beating blocks, and tackling. That's going to make us play great. So there's everything. We're putting a lot of long hours in like we do every week, but we're not preparing for them any different than we do anybody else, and in terms of the amount of preparation we have. So different offense, different type of personnel, explosive offense. So we're going to do our best to just do our 111th and be consistently good on Saturday.
With that defensive performance you guys had against Oklahoma State in the second half after the rain delay, is there things you take away from whether it was schematically or how the players kind of felt coming into the second half that you might want to implement into this next game?
Yeah, I mean, if you really do a deep dive into the whole game and what they were doing throughout the game, first half, 2 touchdowns came down to a 4th down conversion in the middle of the field, and it came down to a 4th down touchdown on 4th and 1 that, you know, I think should have been reviewed. You know what I mean? So our guys are fighters. And, you know, in terms of adjustments in the second half, I mean, there really wasn't any. You know, like Oklahoma State was who we thought they were, and we were able to make some plays in critical situations that they weren't. And then we got on a roll, and momentum is everything. And our guys were able to ride that momentum, you know, throughout the course of the second half and ultimately winning the football game.
What are your thoughts on your linebacker depth and how they've looked at?
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, you know, like we said, we feel like it's one of our deepest positions. All those guys have played multiple plays in critical situations throughout the year, so it's really next man up mentality, and we're really fortunate to be in this position in November to still have depth on the D-line and a rotation on the D-line, so those guys can give maximum effort. And, you know, we're playing anywhere from 10 to 13 guys every week on the D-line, and those guys are all getting better. So, like, our development, you know, at linebacker, in the defensive line, you know, in the secondary is really where we want it to be, you know, come November, compared to where we were a year ago.